Welcome back, brothers. Episode 4. Gentlemen, introduce yourselves, baby.
Gavin McPhee back for another episode with Will Bros here.
John Metzger back again from last week.
Nobody else gonna introduce themselves.
All right.
Thought Will Rod go. Hayden back here another week.
I was waiting for Hayden to go. My name's Will Rob. I'm back for episode number 3 or 4, if you want to count Bros' first one.
All right. So we're just gonna recap what the fuck went on this weekend in football. I think we got to start out with the absolute choke job of the Notre Dame Fighting Irish we saw last night, because that was one of the worst defensive efforts I've seen in a long time in a primetime game like that. You know, obviously all of us picked Notre Dame, so we were all wrong on that aspect. But I just wanted to open up to you guys what you thought of that good game last night.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I feel like Notre Dame is still the better team. Like, I feel like that defense, there was something off about them, and they just could not stop anything. I mean, it was the same with A&M's defense too. I mean, 81 total points in a game is nuts, but. Um, but yeah, Notre Dame absolute choke job at the end. Can't make an extra point, so that kind of sucked. Or couldn't even get the snap and hold. I guess it wasn't even kicked. So just shows the importance of special teams and those amazing epic short snappers that are on every team. So, but yeah, it was a good game.
Yeah, it was very high scoring. I thought Notre Dame's defense would have actually done something, but I think Notre Dame's still better, as Gavin said, but I just think they need to play defense. Because letting A&M just hang in there and then just keep letting them hang in there, it's just you can't do that. And they were at home too. They had no reason to really lose that game other than they just let themselves lose. That snap was that was bad though. I mean, he just didn't even hold it. It wasn't the snapper, obviously, but the hold was just bad. They almost scored the 2 point though, too. I mean, if they
Yep.
would have scored the 2 points there, I mean, maybe it's a little bit worth it to bobble the snap, but it was just, yeah, they need to play defense. I mean, because if they do, get that, if they they hold the snap there, they score. It's an 82-point total game instead of 81, and they probably go to overtime too. And I bet you they just keep scoring back and forth.
Yeah, I felt like I was watching Big 12 ball watching this game. Just not a single down of defense was played. Having experience of holding
Disrespecting the Big 12.
holding the
So,
ball.
you go.
Having experience holding the ball when somebody snaps it back to you on a kick. I would have held that down. Notre Dame would have won the game probably. They would have won an OT from that. So pretty disappointed to see that as a holding the ball placement person. So, but yeah, Notre Dame's still the better team. They should not have lost.
Yeah, honestly, probably a good half or more of that game I didn't get to see because I was at a different game in Columbus. But seeing the end of that game play out is really just crazy. This is not what really any of us predicted at all. We thought it'd be a little more low scoring. I personally thought it'd be Notre Dame like 17-14, 2017, something like that, around the range of that. But then I keep looking up at the jumbotron. And I see like 28-21 in the first half, and I'm just like, whoa, what is going on there? It's just like unreal to see them go back and forth. Obviously already one of like candidates for game of the year, but seeing that Notre Dame's second loss, it's going to be really tough. They'd probably have to run the table to have a chance to make the playoffs. They definitely can do that with the talent they have, but I'm very disappointed in their defense. I expected a lot more out of them.
I'm the same here with the defense. That defense was absolutely pathetic. They had absolutely no pass rush. They couldn't stop the QB contain on Marcel Reed. And their receivers honestly just killed them. I think one of the receivers had about 200 yards receiving. Like, you're not going to win games giving up 200 yards receiving to fucking Texas A&M. I mean, this isn't Ohio State. This isn't Alabama. This is Texas A&M we're talking about. And I'm not saying this team is horrible or anything, but I just thought Notre Dame would come out with a little more pride and passion after they lost at Miami, Florida. And I mean, when you look at the stat sheet, when you see Jeremiah Love having over 150 total scrimmage yards, you probably wouldn't say they were going to lose that game. But you know what? They found a way to do, because guess what? You can't hold a PAT snap. That's how you lose. And I know people are saying that they have a playoff chance. I think their playoff chances are over. I don't see them, even if they do win out, their schedule is just, it's too weak. I mean, unless USC becomes good, I just don't see it. But I'm going to credit A&M where it's due. You know, they came back, they won the game, showed they're the better team, and yeah, so we'll see how that goes out for them. Another good game we saw was that clash in Knoxville. Georgia escapes in overtime, 44-41 over Tennessee. Great game. I feel like Tennessee had this game. You know, they obviously had a couple drives where, you know, Aguilar, even though he played great, had 2 turnovers, and Stockton only had 1. So, I mean, that's a difference in the game right there. I mean, I'm not going to blame it all on the kicker for the missed field goal because that's a tough field goal, especially with that much pressure on him. So I'm not going to blame it on the kicker. And obviously in this game, similar, there was no defense. Like, there was none whatsoever. And I just feel like in the second half, Georgia just relied on their run game and their big offensive line and just bullied Tennessee. Like John was saying in the last episode, Tennessee really didn't have a defense, and that's why he picked Georgia. So I just thought it was a good SEC matchup. You know, Georgia wins for the ninth year in a row? Yeah, 9 years. So we'll see. I think Georgia is going to absolutely steamroll Alabama. We'll get to that later. But that's my take.
Yeah, I didn't get to watch this whole game, but from what I've heard from other people and the highlights that I've seen, it definitely looked like there's no defense. And I also thought I watched parts of it, and it seemed like Tennessee was kind of more in control than Georgia was. But for what I've heard, they just couldn't finish, couldn't get the job done. And that's a big part of the game. When you're up, you got to finish, and they weren't able to do it.
Yeah, I actually ended up watching this game while I was at work, but there was actually times where Tennessee's defense looked like it was in control of the game, and it actually like was going to prove me wrong, and they stalled when they finally got Georgia to stall out, then their offense stalled out, and they allowed Georgia to come back into that game. I think if Tennessee would have scored on any one of the 2 drives where they were up still, I think it would have been game over. I know that kick is a high pressure kick, but at the end of the day, if you make that almost same kick in overtime, but you didn't, minutes earlier, I think that just weighs down as a kicker, but also just says you should have been able to make that kick before. I know the pressure's on, but I just don't think it's that much of a good excuse to not be able to make that kick. I think honestly, my pick would honestly was shit. In all honesty, it should have been Tennessee. Tennessee should have came out on top, but they found a way to lose more than Georgia found a way to win. I think they just found a way to lose, and yeah, they didn't play enough defense, even though they were playing decently solid defense.
Yeah, for me, I picked Georgia to win, and I was kind of surprised they did, especially how the first half went. They were just getting pummeled, and their defense couldn't find any solution. But I feel like the tide changed, especially after halftime, because that first drive they had took about 8 minutes down the field. They were converting third downs like crazy, just running the ball up the middle. And the whole drive took, 8 minutes, basically the half of the quarter. So I just felt like we were watching the same movie over and over again where Georgia just had more depth and they were just pounding it down their throats. So I was surprised that Tennessee was able to answer that because they haven't been able to do that in the past. At the end of the day, the kicker had a chance and just couldn't make it. And then when he missed it, you could just feel the energy in the whole stadium just like deplete. It was just, I don't know, breathtaking to watch. Georgia pulled out a good one, though.
Yeah, going off of my pick, I did have Georgia. I thought they'd win by about 10. And honestly, Tennessee, in this game and their first couple games so far, have really surprised me. Aguilar's looked pretty good. Made like 1 or 2 mistakes, but for the most part, has been pretty damn good. And it's been very surprising. Their offenses look dynamic. They've looked really good. And if they had an ounce of defense to close the game out, or a decent enough kicker, they win that game. But it's the same movie we've been seeing for so long. Georgia just, at the end of the game, wins it like they usually do. At least this one was close this time, but man, if you're a Tennessee fan, this one's just got to hurt. You had it right there, right in your hands, and you just choke it once again. And for them, I mean, this game is needed because of the SEC, you don't have any weeks off. You're going to have to win games like this. Georgia has the rest of their big games at home. I wouldn't be surprised if they only lose one game. I mean, they're probably going to be favored in most, if not every game this season. But meanwhile, they go to Tennessee, and they're going to be in a lot more tougher games. So we'll see if they can bounce back from it.
Yeah, that's really the 2 main games we're going to cover in depth. Some results from this past weekend of top 25. Miami, Florida absolutely steamrolled the underdog South Florida. I just think South Florida ran out of steam. I think Miami was ready for them. I don't think they underestimated them one bit. So Miami goes in there, takes care of business, and gets a good win. Iowa State barely survived Arkansas State. I honestly did not know that until I looked last night. Only won by 8. And oh my God, dude, Texas, Arch Manning looks absolutely horrible. Like this man's running in circles, throwing off his back foot, opposite side of his body, and it's like, yeah, let me just throw this, and just gets picked off. You're not playing SEC competition yet, and you're struggling. I know they got Florida coming up. I could still see them losing to Florida, even though they've already lost 2 games. I just could see it. I mean, there wasn't really any other big games. And then, not saying that. Georgia Tech upset Clemson. We'll actually let Hayden Bender start out with this one because this was his national champions pick. So, Hayden, you have the floor.
Yeah, first of all, it's very disappointing to watch. Yeah, I'm never taking Cape Klubnik again for Heisman. Yeah, that's all I got to say. It's terrible. I'm not. I don't know what to say. It's awful. They're trash. They're absolute trash.
Yeah, Hayden's upset pick. Wisconsin got steamrolled by 24 points.
See, that was kind of just like a throwing it up there and hopefully it gets put in and just didn't.
No,
So
he was very
it
certain
was
that
a
was going to happen. That was not a throw up there.
And when we
it
did
was a
the
prayer
second
and it was not
episode, you were
answered.
like, Hayden's like, watch, man, Wisconsin's going to be a good team this year.
No, he was
Wisconsin's
very
going to be.
positive.
I don't
Nope.
know. I thought they had
Nope.
a chance. I picked them too. I thought they had a chance. They looked like they had a chance, and I'd say first quarter and a half, and then they could not play offense at all. Their defense looked
They had
good
no
though. It was
chance.
not. It was just, dude, they had a chance. Like I'm being for
Start to
real. They did
finish, no
not look that
chance.
bad.
Yeah.
They'd never had a chance, not
They
one bit. They didn't have a chance as soon as they got off the team bus walking into the stadium. Honestly, it was over way before that. I know Bama
Yeah,
didn't
they
win by 40 like I predicted, but it might as well have been. They didn't have a chance. Even if they had their starting quarterback, they'd have still been fucked.
They had a chance.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna lie. I didn't even watch that game, but I was just paying it, kind of looking at it and seeing how it was going, and I didn't even want to turn it on a single time because it was never even a close game. It was never even like, oh wow, this might be interesting. It was like, oh nope, Bama's gonna win by multiple scores, just like we all guessed, except for Hayden and John. But Hayden was very certain about this.
Also, we forgot LSU made Florida's offense look like complete dog shit last night. Someone's front runner and Heisman, DJ Lagway, goes in there and throws 5 interceptions against the LSU defense that we know is good. And obviously, that game was closer than a lot of us thought. I thought LSU was honestly going to steamroll them just because of the momentum they had. LSU's offense didn't look that impressive to me. I think they'll be fine, though. The defense looked very good. And I think Florida honestly could have won this game if not for Lagway's 5 interceptions.
Yeah, this is kind of why I actually dropped Lagway last week out of my like top 2 or 3 Heisman candidates because from what I had seen before this game, there was nothing really that impressive yet. And yeah, like you said, he came into this game 5 picks, just completely ruined his team's chance to win. The only person that can throw 5 picks and win a football game is Jared Goff, and that dude just on a whole nother level than any other quarterback in the entire world. So yeah, Florida had no chance after even a few interceptions.
I mean, they actually stayed in that game. That game was what, a 20-10 final or 27-10 final? It was not
2010.
as high. Yeah, it was not very high scoring. I think LSU's offense just let them stay in that game for no reason. And I think Lagway was just to a point where he was just throwing bombs after bombs in a triple coverage and praying that his receiver came down with one, and he didn't. But that LSU offense, I know Nussmeier is my Heisman favorite, but they got to get going because that offense just looks slow right now. Like whenever I don't know who's coming up on their schedule, but whoever they got coming up might. I mean, if they play like that continuously, they're gonna let up. They're gonna lose a game or two,
Yeah.
and
Their next 3 games, they play some FCS school, then they're on the road at Ole Miss, and then they host South Carolina.
yeah, I mean, they could lose that Ole Miss game if Ole Miss is playing very solid right now. If that offense
And they
doesn't
still
start showing up,
and they still got to play a lot of ranked teams now. South Carolina, obviously they're not ranked anymore, but I think they're still a decent team. They're at Vandy. If Vandy gets momentum rolling, that could be interesting. They also play A&M in October, and they still got Alabama and Oklahoma. So that offense better get rolling because as we've seen with Oklahoma, they're not bad. Bama's Bama. A&M just showed they're pretty good SEC team, or at least decent. And then South Carolina will always be decent with Sellers if he's healthy. So we'll see how that offense gets rolling or not, but we'll see.
Yeah, watching that game, man, Lagway, if you really had him as a dark horse for Heisman, that's just dead in the water right now. I mean, shouldn't even be top 100 for that award. I mean, just really disappointing. But I think if you're LSU, you'll have a lot more chances to get big wins. But this one wasn't a big win because Florida's just ass. And yeah, Florida's fucked. Simple as that.
Yeah, Florida's trash. Let's just put that out there. And then LSU hasn't played well since they beat Clemson. So I don't know. They both look like they're struggling a little bit the past few weeks.
Yeah, and kind of going off of that, we haven't seen anything really from Clemson either. So who knows how good LSU is, really.
Do we want to
So
talk about
obviously,
that game? Clemson,
Clemson?
That
Georgia
was a
Tech.
game. Yeah.
That
I
was a
mean, that
game that
Georgia,
did happen.
Haynes
I'll
King put that
go.
team on the map.
Go ahead.
Yeah, that Clemson team is, I'll just say it right now, dog shit. I mean, straight up dog shit. Like, I don't understand how we just get these teams in college football who go, all right, yeah, we got a superstar quarterback. Let's just have him be Superman, like he's Josh Allen or, these top quarterbacks in the NFL. They have no one over there at Clemson. It is just Cade Klubnik. That's how bad they are. And he fumbles the ball, and that basically just states how their team is going. Klubnik fumbles or can't carry the team's not going to win. I mean, it's just bad. Georgia Tech's a good team too. I don't know why they're not ranked. I hopefully they got ranked this year, or this week, but I
They
don't
did.
understand how they didn't.
They did.
They're
They
ranked
did.
18th.
Oh, they
18th.
did. Okay,
They are
okay.
ranked. No,
I was gonna say because they need to be ranked. They're a good team. They could easily make it into the playoffs and be a nice sleeper team that could beat any team. Honestly, they play good football. They play hard nosed football. I mean, and Clemson just looked like how they've looked the last 3 weeks. They just barely squeeze out or they just lose. They just don't look good. And I mean, that is a good point that LSU beating them is not looking like the best win right now for them. Even
Yeah, I mean, Clemson, they lost Antonio Williams, which was their best receiver from last year going into this game. But even then, going into the season, there was a lot of hype around them, and I bought into it. A lot of us did, especially Hayden Bender. But man, seeing them 1-2, honestly, could have been 0-3. It's just been so terrible. Cade Klubnik has not lived up to his hype at all. Maybe he should have went to the league before he just hurt his draft stock even more. I mean, like he can't do anything. He can't do everything. He's just kind of stuck there, and I mean, they're gonna have to run the table or they're done for. I mean, that's as simple as that. I mean, they got to try and win the ACC, and if not that, then they'll be sitting in the Really Quest or Cheez-Its Bowl or Pop Tart Bowl, one of the three.
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna even. I don't think they even could win. I don't think they would even win the ACC. I think there's 3 teams now. I think are better than Clemson in my opinion, but we'll see how that is.
yeah, North Carolina. Yeah,
Here, you
Hell
want to see?
no.
You want to see my take on Clemson?
Yeah, sure, Hayden. Let's see the rant.
All right. So every time I watch Clemson, okay, it's just straight toilet water, okay. So let me just give you a demonstration of how I feel every time. Oh, come on now, that ain't even bullshit. That's horse shit. Yep, that's every time I watch Clemson. That's exactly how I feel. All right, that's all I got to say.
So obviously, so we saw the new top 25. There's a lot of mix-up in this new top 25. Clemson, as we talked about, they are now unranked after starting the season as were they top 5 team in the country, top 8. Some new teams in there. Georgia Tech made a big jump going to 18. Vandy moved up to 20. Is now ahead of a
horse
team that
shit.
you guys can discuss later how they performed this past weekend. Notre Dame is somehow still ranked after being 0-2. No, nothing major. Florida State jumped Texas in the rankings. Next, we'll get to some predictions later. That Illinois-Indiana game is going to be a good one next week. And let's see, Illinois is are they 9, and then Indiana is 19. So it'll be a good matchup. So we'll actually have to let the Michigan fans express how they saw last weekend at that horrible loss versus Oklahoma compared to what they saw this past weekend when they played the Little Sisters of the Poor and the Chippewas.
All right, so first, when you talk about Little Sisters of the Poor, remember you played Grambling State, okay? So, a little bit, okay. And
Yeah,
second of all, yeah,
the all black school, isn't that an all black school that you guys put 70 on?
we
What does
shouldn't
that
be
have to do
putting
with
I
race
anything?
names,
mean,
John.
little fucked up, huh?
What is
Little
this?
fucked up.
Anyway, y'all
Nah,
to
you
play
guys,
Grambling
Ohio
State, and I
State,
know the
man.
Chippewas will whip them by 100. So, anyway, Bryce Underwood, he played okay. I think he threw a pick,
You
though,
gotta say
against
that,
Central.
Bender.
So, what?
Keep going. Keep going.
Okay, yeah. But yeah, I mean, I think he threw a pick against Central, didn't he? He only threw like 200 yards.
No, I don't think he
I don't
threw a
know.
pick.
I'm pretty sure he
Picking a
did.
touchdown.
Yeah,
Picking
he
a
threw a
touchdown.
pick and a
It looked
So I
more
touchdown.
mean,
He
like a
And
ran
he
for
and he
touchdown.
ran for a touchdown.
his
he
stats
ran
should
for
be a
two
little bit better than
touchdowns.
that when they're playing
Two
Central.
touchdowns.
I don't know. I'm
Eagles just won.
kind of nervous to see how the rest of the season's going to get hit Big Ten play. So
I think honestly, I think he was just having a good time out there. He knew he could probably throw 10 interceptions and we still would have won by 50 points. He was just letting it loose because a difference from last week is we were actually allowing him to throw the ball downfield instead of for -3 yards on a bubble screen pass.
Uh,
And so I think he just saw some dudes running deep. I think he still has to work on reading the safeties movements. It's probably definitely still new compared to the high school level, but I mean, we got guys running deep. I think he's just excited to show off that arm talent, especially when we're playing a team like Central Michigan, where he he can make a couple mistakes and we're still going to win by a lot. I love the play calling way more this week. Obviously, plays are going to work better when you're playing a worse team. But just being able to see us throw the ball downfield, seeing Bryce Underwood use his legs too, that's something we haven't seen in either of the first two games yet. And this week he was just running all over the place. Nobody can really tackle him either because he's humongous. It was a fun game to watch. Got kind of boring because the Chippewas are so unbelievably garbage, but it was a good watch.
Yeah, I mean, last week we just did not want to play football, it felt like on offense, or even defense at times too. Just not the bad play calling just continued, but this week it was entirely different. It looked like we were just like, oh yeah, we can actually play, football and we can call normal plays. I don't know where that was last week. It should have been there because it's a night and day difference in that offense. I mean, letting Bryce run, letting him throw downfield. I mean, his throws downfield were good. He had good ball placement too. I mean, the safety read on that one interception was bad. I mean, he should have. There was literally just a free 5 yard route. I think that was just wide open. He should have taken. But the offense actually looked good. I think it's going to be a good road test for Nebraska. It's a good way to start Big Ten play. I think with a road test against Nebraska. I mean, they're a solid team. I think over there. I don't think they're any team that is to be taken lightly at all. But hopefully the play calling continues because our defense looked really good and our offense especially looked good.
And Biff is the greatest interim head coach of all time.
Yes.
I would second that. Or
Yeah.
I thought Michigan looked okay. Obviously they're playing Central Michigan, so it's not that impressive. Uh,
Yeah. Here we go.
but but hear me
Who'd you
out.
guys
Our
play again?
quarterback's so good. He's
Grambling
turned
State.
17 for
Grambling State.
17 against Grambling State. He's so
Oklahoma,
good.
bitch, shut up.
He's so
How
good.
about the
Gosh.
Bobcats, boy? How about the Bobcats?
all
Can't
right,
wait to
can I
get into
weigh in on
that.
Yeah,
Holy
Yeah,
let
cow.
Laura say
yeah.
something.
Yeah, Hayden, we're 3-0. You're 2-1. Shut up, okay? You lost to a mid
can I weigh
SEC team. All
in on
right,
this
shut
game, please?
your mouth.
Can I weigh in on this game?
Yeah.
Sure. Well, Rob, you were there.
Aiden's talking about the 4-year history of the world right now. Not sure what that's about, but anyways, talking about the Wolverines first here. Yeah, they looked pretty good. I'd say. I mean, take it with a grain of salt 'cause they did play the Chippewas, but yeah, good win for them. We'll see how the next week goes because I think they are definitely in a situation that would be very tough for them. Going into Nebraska, it is a road game, so I wouldn't be surprised if that game is very close going into the fourth quarter. You got Dylan Raiola with that home crowd. I mean, watch out. The Huskers could win that one. And I'll move on to Ohio State here while I got the floor here. Um, Being at that game, I mean, it was definitely just kind of weird, a weird game. Ohio State was moving the ball fine. They didn't look bad on offense by any stretch of the imagination. I mean, they were moving the ball. They'd get in the red zone, and then they just stall out. They'd get to the 20-yard line, go for it on fourth down on the first drive, not get it. Second drive, just kick a field goal. Third drive, kick a field goal. Go for it on fourth down. I mean, they ended up having 5 red zone trips in a row to start the game and only had 1 touchdown. And in the third quarter, the score was what? Like 13-10, 16-10,
Yeah,
something like that.
13-9, I think. Yeah, it was a one
13-9.
touchdown, one score game.
They missed the extra point. And seeing that bomb over the top, I don't even know how that got through, but that was just weird. After that and before that, the defense looked good, though. A few unlucky tip interceptions for saying I'm not really worried about that. But other than that, I mean, I'm not too mad about the performance. I'd say Ohio State probably played the worst possible game they could have. They still won by 30, so not really stressing it at all. They've got a bye week before a tough game at Washington. They got to prepare for that one. Got to be ready for that because that'll be a tough environment.
Yeah, I'd love to chip in on this game or on Ohio State in general. I think honestly, I mean, there's no reason to move them out of the number 1 spot right now because they've been winning. They had that big matchup at the beginning of the year. But like Will said, Texas has looked absolutely terrible. So I'm not really sure how much we can look at that first win and be like, wow, Ohio State's really good, especially with they played Grambling State and thought their quarterback was the greatest thing to ever exist when he started 18 for 18 against them. But and then this last week it looked like a struggle bus until like about midway through the third quarter when they finally started to pick it up. But I there's no reason to move them out of the 1 spot yet, but I think there's definitely something that could be an issue later on.
Yeah, I mean, I think if they would have capitalized on the red zone opportunities, it's completely different. And we look at this like, oh yeah, they just rolled over them, and it's a mute point. Like they played just as good as Michigan and all that. And I'm not saying Michigan's on their level probably yet. I think that game definitely has a good chance of having very good possibilities. But I mean, when you don't capitalize on the red zone opportunities, like Will Rob was saying, I mean, it looks kind of bad. It looks bad. And I mean that can say a lot about a team right now. I mean, you're not capitalizing on red zone opportunities against a MAC school. Obviously, Ohio is a very good MAC school. I'd say they're probably one of the best. My Rockets are up there with them, but I mean, I just think it's definitely something to look at, like Gavin said. I mean, it's a what 3-4 score almost game against a MAC school. It's not, yeah, 4 score game against a MAC school, and it was at one point a 1 score game. Like if they
For a
drove
while.
in, because they had the ball too on that 13, it was 13-9 and Ohio had the ball. I mean, they score a touchdown, or I think it was 16-9, but they score a touchdown there. It's a tie game. And I mean, tie game is a whole different ball game, momentum wise.
Is that basically it concludes the wrap up. I don't have much to say about Ohio State. I think first half, going in the first third quarter, they look pretty sloppy defensively. Just getting cooked. Like Ohio State DB should not be getting cooked by Ohio Bobcats receivers.
That was one
Like
play, dude.
I understand that, but like we were only up 7 on them in the third quarter. Like that's just man. The way we've looked, I know it was Grambling State. So be it. I don't give a shit. But anyways, we played Texas. We looked better than we played Ohio. Like it's ridiculous. I know they got a bye week coming up, and then they got to go to Washington, which is always a tough place to play for road teams. So we'll see how that goes. In general, I'll space that. There's only like the week 4 slate isn't too good, so we'll just do a couple. First, it's the All Big Ten matchup. Indiana versus Illinois. I think it's going to be a pretty good matchup. Environment in Bloomington is going to be crazy, but I have Illinois pulling it out by a touchdown, 24-17 over the Hoosiers.
I also have Illinois in this one. I just think they're a better overall team than Indiana. I don't see anything from Indiana quite yet. Um, so I think Illinois is going to get it done.
Yeah, I think Illinois is going to probably take over this game. I think Indiana's a solid team, but they haven't played anyone, and I think they were supposed to play Virginia Tech this year or next year or something, and they got rid of it, and I feel like that's just their reasoning is because they know they're not good, so they want to come in and try and have some rank and try and have some confidence with having a rank, and I don't know. I just don't see him doing good. I just think it's an Illinois game to just honestly, it's Illinois' game to lose if they do lose, but it really should just be an Illinois just roll over them. It's in Indiana though, I think, isn't it? So
Yeah.
maybe that plays a little bit of a factor into it. But other than that, I think Illinois takes care of business and wins in this Big Ten game.
Yeah, seeing this from Indiana's perspective, I mean, being at home, that gives them a little bit of an edge, but I don't think it's enough. I think Illinois is just much more, they got much more experience, and I think that that's going to hold true in this game. I think it'll be close for a little while, but I think Illinois will pull away in the second half. And I think Altmaier, I'll show everybody why that they're the better team. I think they'll probably win by about 10 or 2 scores around there. And then going into next week, I think they'll be looking pretty good. Maybe top 7 in the country. So we'll see.
And then next one we got, it's the all Florida State battle. Florida Gators coming off 2 tough losses. They travel to Miami to take on the Hurricanes. I got little no explanation. I'm going the Miami Hurricanes. They're the better team, better roster. I'm going with Mario Cristobal and the Canes to get it done against the Gators.
Yeah, Miami has just looked like an absolute powerhouse so far this season. So, and we've seen like about the complete opposite out of Florida. So, I I don't know. I mean, I'm gonna take Miami. I just don't see Florida even having a chance really in this. Um, yeah, that's about all I got for that game.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Hurricanes as well. I just think Florida maybe had a chance they would have beat LSU, or had they not lost to South. Oh, that was bad. Had they not lost to South Florida, maybe they had a chance, but they just don't look good. Lagway could probably throw for 7 picks in this game. To be quite honest, that's how bad they have looked. And I mean, the way he was throwing the ball too against Louisiana, he might actually have, you know, 5 picks. Like it is that bad, genuinely.
Yeah, I mean, Florida's look terrible. I think that it's just kind of obvious that Miami's going to win this game. I think we need to start having serious conversations about Carson Beck being in Heisman contention, even though no one really thought that would be true after seeing his last season at Georgia. I think it's definitely possible now. They have a lot of steam going in there, and yeah, Miami, if they win this one, there's going to be even more hype. Trying to get the moniker of being the champs of Florida. They do play Florida State soon, so that'll be a huge one.
And then the last one we're doing for picks. After this, Hayden Bender's had some technical difficulties, so we're going to reset it and let him join back in. Hopefully it works. Last one we got is an SEC matchup. Auburn going on the road to Oklahoma, top 25 matchup. Should be another good game. It's a good another SEC matchup. But what I've seen from Oklahoma, I really don't know much about Auburn. What I've seen from John Mateer, I'm going with the Sooners big over the Tigers.
Yeah, I don't know exactly what the score is going to look like, but I definitely do got Oklahoma, especially just watching that game against Michigan. They looked really good. The defense was really solid, mixing up looks left and right. And then on the offensive side, of course, like Bros said, they got Mateer, who was just making plays left and right, just moving all around the pocket. Um, it was almost like you couldn't even reach him like half the time, even when you were getting in the backfield. So I'm going to go the Sooners.
I'm also going to go the Sooners. I think Auburn's a solid team, but this is at Oklahoma, and they look good against Michigan too. And I just think if they play the same way, but limit the mistakes, and they're running the way they run with John Mateer is perfect for their style of football. I think he looks good. I think I'll have honestly more of a bounce back game too, because I mean, right now he's at 5 touchdowns and 3 interceptions on the year. I think you could see him possibly, throwing for 4 touchdowns and then really opening up an offensive game in this one. I think Oklahoma takes it by probably like 10 points. if not more. I mean, I think Oklahoma's a very solid squad in the SEC.
Yeah, Oklahoma's look really good. I mean, they got a big win over Michigan. They've looked dominant in their other games. And for Auburn, their last week, I looked at the score. It was closer than it really should have been. They played a bad team and played it somewhat close. I don't think Auburn's a bad team, but I think Oklahoma being at home and just showing everything that they have shown, especially with Mateer, I just think that it's just too much. And I got Oklahoma probably by 2 scores.
As you can see, Hayden Bender is back in the call now. Has a ton of difficulties. So Hayden, it's yours. You missed a couple picks. You can get to this one for Oklahoma Auburn, and then we'll tell you what their last two games were as well.
I'm gonna take Auburn. I'm
Here
just gonna take
comes
Auburn.
the
I
here
got
comes the
A little
Wisconsin.
bull.
different.
This guy,
Just wait till they win.
Anything
Okay.
but the team
based
that's
on
gonna win.
based on what?
Picks.
Yeah, right.
Cause screw them. They beat Michigan. Taking Auburn.
Do it.
All right. Well, in the last we did Illinois playing at Indiana, and we also did Florida and Miami, Florida. We were all unanimous. All of us picked Illinois, and all of us picked Miami, Florida. So is Hayden gonna break the trend? Probably, but it's all yours.
If you think I'm picking the Hoosiers, you're out of your mind. Then, what's the other game again?
Sorry, Briars.
Florida and
Miami,
Miami.
Florida.
I'm picking Miami, Florida.
And then we'll do the last one just for these boys. Ohio State's on bye week, so they don't got to worry about a game this week. We're going
Cakewalk.
Michigan at Nebraska. I'll start off. We'll let the Michigan fans finish it out. And my take, Michigan has looked good and just not good sometimes. Nebraska obviously had that good week one win. Basically, they had the home field advantage against Cincinnati. But obviously, they haven't played anybody very good yet. This will be their first true test, a top 25 team coming into Nebraska. Do I think Dylan Raiola and Nebraska can get it done? Yes. Are they going to get it done? Hell no. I'm going with Michigan to win this one. They're grounding and pounding all the fucking way down to the end zone. Justice Haynes goes 50 yards. Dylan Raiola isn't getting it done. He's not built for the big moment. I'm going Michigan because Nebraska's just not good as Michigan.
So I felt like the way that was going, I was gonna have to pull this out for your pick, but I don't need to anymore. So that's good. I'm taking Michigan as well.
All right.
Yeah.
You
Oh.
want to go, John?
No, you go. You go. You go. I'll save.
I'll let you two Chitterine fans finish it out. You know, I think Michigan's looked subpar against the only good team that they've played, and this team, well, they're not as good as Oklahoma for sure. I think it's going to pose them some problems. That being said, I don't think Nebraska's going to get it done just because they don't have enough. I think this game will be pretty close, but I think it'll be late in the game. Nebraska may be trying to tie it up, then I think Dylan Raiola probably gets his goal smashed in by Barnum. That's what I think's going to happen. Something around that. So I got Wolverine in a close one.
I'll let Gavin finish it off because, I'm sure he has some great words for us. But I got the Wolverines. I think it's going to be a close game, like Will Rob said, but I think we're going to pull away. I'd say third quarter, possibly. It could be earlier. It really depends on the play calling, though, which is what I think it's going to come down to. Is if we play if we call plays that we did against Oklahoma, it's going to be close for zero reason at all. If we call plays like we did against Central this week, we could, we could literally just knock their socks off and just this game could be over very fast. But I think Nebraska's a solid squad. I think it's a solid road test for Michigan, but I think Michigan gets it done on the road and they'll look good. Hopefully, going into I think it's homecoming weekend against Wisconsin after this.
Yeah, so obviously, I'm a student at the University of Cincinnati. So week one, I watched one of the most annoying humans on this planet, and Dylan Raiola get to play in his actual home stadium, Arrowhead, because he thinks he's Patrick Mahomes, and he's nowhere even near it, as I saw during the game. Cincinnati was this close to pulling out a win against a pretty decent-ish Big Ten team. So that just made me think Nebraska's just going downhill. Dylan Raiola is so bad. I saw him play against Ohio State last year. His team put him in a great position to win that game against Ohio State last year, and he missed about 3 wide open touchdown throws. towards the end of the game. So that was just another terrible performance I saw from him. So I think Michigan comes in. Bryce Underwood's just getting more comfortable. If we can open the playbook up like we did last week, let him do his thing. Just let him make plays out there. I think Michigan wins by at least 3 scores. I don't know why you guys are looking at me like that, but I think we are going to absolutely dominate Nebraska. Because I think Michigan would absolutely destroy Cincinnati if they played them, and Cincinnati should have won that game against Nebraska in Nebraska's home away from home. So I'm going Michigan big time.
Okay. I don't know. Will Rob want to add anything to that? I don't know. I'm
Yeah,
not much.
yeah. I'm not gonna lie. I really wanted to take the Huskers, but I don't have any belief in Raiola. He gave the Buckeyes a close game last year, and that was really
He didn't.
surprising.
He didn't. His team gave him a close game, and then he
Yeah,
couldn't finish the close
yeah.
game.
If
I
he
was gonna
actually played
say
football.
he gave the Buckeyes a close chance because he was on the team. He himself did not do very much. So yeah, and he could have had the game, but he didn't because he's not very good. He's better this year, but not by a lot. So I I'll be very happy if the Wolverines do lose next week, but I don't expect it.
It's not
Yeah,
happening.
when aren't you?
But the game will be close. They're not going to get blown out.
I think it's 3 scores.
I
I think
disagree
I
by
think
a
it's 10.
lot on that.
Yeah, I'm with Bros. I think it could be like 10 points. I don't think 3 scores.
I got him by 3 scores.
Wolverines by
I'd like it
90.
to be 3 scores.
So another college
Easy
football
triples.
week in the books. We won the NFL. We'll get reactions from all of our favorite teams, but we got to start out with the team that looked probably the worst out of team, and that's the Pittsburgh Steelers. So, Hayden Bender, the floor is yours.
All right, first, of course, I swear my team's always getting picked on. Anyway, it was tough to watch. I think we should have won the game. I'll give you 2 reasons why. Rodgers, who played good week 1, looked like he was back on the Jets when he tore his ham or whatever it's called when he got injured. So he threw a pick on the 5-yard line. Looked terrible. Gavin, stop that face. He looks terrible this week, and then our freaking kick returner just decides to let it hit him, and then just let it bounce in the end zone. Just watches it go by,
Ah,
and Seahawks just pick it up for a touchdown. That's 14 points we just gave them. We lost by 14, so pretty disappointing. That's really
Give me a
all I got to
puke
say.
bucket.
yeah. Seeing the final of this game, the Browns got their asses kicked today, but as a Browns fan and a Steelers hater, I don't mind it overall. The Browns lose, but the Steelers also lose. We'll take that.
Okay, now I got to get to my team. Holy shit. This defense is fucking horrible. Like,
The whole team's horrible,
it
other than
looks
your
like
Yeah,
kicker.
the Cowboys are just trash in
Wait,
general.
hold on. Wait, why are we leaving the Steelers?
Oh, we just got to make sure that Bros doesn't act like his team's better than the Steelers. They're both god awful.
the Cowboys
Holy
are better than the
cow!
fucking Steelers, so you can shut up.
Lions are
No,
mid too.
No, they
Calm
are
down.
not.
so this
They are
defense is
not
horrible.
better than the Steelers.
This
I
defense is
take
horrible.
Aaron Rodgers and his torn Achilles 10 times out of 10 over the Cowboys.
I'm not.
That's just like it doesn't. That's not right at all. Like
Well, you
obviously,
guys
Dak
traded away
looked
Micah
fine today.
Parsons,
Dak
dude.
Prescott was fine. The offense was fine. It's the
Bender's
defense
face.
that couldn't play a single lick of it if their life's dependent on it. They're letting fucking washed up Russell Wilson throw four.
Hey, maybe the Cowboys are better than
Letting washed up Russell Wilson throw for 450 yards. Like what kind of shit is that? This isn't prime Russell Wilson. This is 40-year-old bum Russell Wilson that the Steelers like.
Didn't look like a bum today.
Career high yards.
Yeah, and guess
Okay,
what?
but I
And
don't
the
know what
Steelers
he
got
was
rid of
throwing
him for a
to
cup of
earlier,
coffee.
but
Yeah, he was throwing to the ghost of fucking DK Metcalf on that last throw. Holy cow.
Yeah, but
Yeah, that was pretty
anyways,
good.
I thought the defense looked fine against the Eagles. We just couldn't stop the QB run against Jalen Hurts. This week was just our DBs getting absolutely cooked by Wandale Robinson and Malik Neighbors. Like, that's not that good of a receiving core. When you go up against the Commanders who have Deebo Samuel and Terry McLaurin, they're not going to even stand a chance because they can't play a single lick of defense. Like, Jerry Jones just has got to be one of these most stupidest owners I've ever seen in the National Football League. Like, he
Stupidest.
invested nothing in the fucking draft.
Yeah.
No secondary. All he drafted was more offensive line, and our offensive line still sucks. There's nothing that
So,
it's just the Cowboys are.
Bryce, let me point out a question to you. So, what are you looking for Jerry Jones to do? Is something
I'm looking
supposed
for
to
Jerry
happen to him?
Jones to, how about this? Not trade our best player on defense, not do that, number one, for a washed up Kenny Clark. Number two, actually not spend money on three fucking players. CeeDee Lamb, Dak, and Micah Parsons took up half our fucking team's salary. So obviously, it's just like the Cowboys are just god mid. They're always going to be mid. They're never going to get above the hump. But I'm done ramping about this dog shit team. I know
Well,
you Lions fans
I'll
can't
segue
wait
into
to
it
be
then.
like, just got your asses whooped by the Green Bay Packers. But you guys can go on and explain,
Here we
well, you
go.
guys played the Chicago Bears and beat them by fucking 38. So yeah,
So
Well,
get
you
your
here
win.
we
barely beat
go.
the
So you
Giants,
guys,
dude.
Yeah.
yeah, Brandon Aubrey basically beat the Giants for you today because I mean,
4 field goals.
yeah, 4 field goals.
4 or 5.
Had it a 64-yarder to even keep you guys in the game. But
Let's
I
hear,
mean,
let's
it
hear
sounds
this.
like to me, bros, until Jerry Jones goes away from this franchise, the Cowboys will be mid. And
He
you
just
Yes.
needs
gotta
to go
watch
away in
last week, you
general.
gotta
Yes.
watch the week before's podcast in order to hear what has to happen for that. But I'll just leave that to everyone else's thoughts and imagination. Uh, yeah, the Cowboys are shit. Let's just be real. And they're not gonna get past shit because they're paying Dak to be Dak, which is mid. I mean, he's from Mississippi State, so mid. They're just
More cowbell.
yeah, yeah, more cowbell because at this point, Dak should just go back to that. Maybe Dak should go to coaching or go be the GM of Mississippi
No,
State
not coaching. Who?
because he is horrible. I mean, you're just asking a mid-level quarterback to, oh, let's overpay him and then just be mid. Yeah, that team is horrible. I'd like to say that the Giants could possibly heat up, and if they actually knew how to play some defense, and Russ didn't just decide to randomly throw the ball up on 1st and 10. I mean, take a sack or roll out or anything. And I'll give a little quote from Ed Metzger, who I was watching the end of that game with. He said to cut him right then and there. I mean, there was some profanity in that, a lot of different language that I probably shouldn't say on here, but. Ed does not want Russell Wilson to be a quarterback anymore. Ed told him he can buy his own plane ticket home. That's how bad Russ looked in that last throw of his Giants career, in my opinion, is what it should be.
Okay.
Yeah. Let
Yeah.
me let me go into
No, no,
back to
no,
the
no, no, no,
Steelers because
no.
I feel like we kind of just skipped completely over the Steelers part, other than Hayden talking about them. I've predicted this since the very beginning. Aaron Rodgers shows who he truly is. He's playing against finally an average team. He played a team last year, an organization that is trying to be the worst, but they can't get past the Browns. But and Aaron Rodgers barely squeaked out a win last week. They play a mid-level Seahawks, can't get it done. And then the Cowboys and Giants too, they're about the same level, and it's just like this all the time. So I mean, it is unreal what I'm seeing from those three teams in general. We got the retirement home, and then we just got the Cowboys and Giants, who have absolutely no idea what in the world they're trying to do. At least the Steelers are at least sticking to a common theme of just picking up everybody that's going to retire probably next year. But it's at least a better theme than whatever the heck the Cowboys and Giants are trying to do. And
I
once
can agree
again,
to
though,
that. Amen.
the Giants, though, once again we see from Russ that I think the Steelers just had no idea what they're doing with the quarterback position because he set a new record today in his entire career for passing yards. So obviously he's still got something left in him, and as we saw last week with Justin Fields, he does too. So I still to this day have no idea why the Steelers got rid of both their decent quarterbacks for a straight bum off the Himalayan mountains. But that's about all I got.
Yeah, I got something to say about the Cowboys real quick. It's just really funny seeing what's happening to this team. I mean, it just goes from shit to even more shit. If they didn't have the best kicker in the league, they'd be winless and easily winless. Russ just fucking pieced them apart like he was back at Wisconsin. I mean, it was insane. Malik Neighbors and him look like the best duo in the league for some reason. No idea why. But yeah, Dak and then Jerry Jones might need to become a gay couple and go like get deported or something. Because my God, they just need to stop. And I mean, I wouldn't be surprised they're both out of this league for one reason or another by the end of the season.
Yeah, I'd like to say a little bit about the Pittsburgh Steelers here. Obviously, Hayden thinks the Pittsburgh Steelers are miles above the Dallas Cowboys. They're on the same level of teams, tier level of teams. They are both fucking dog shit. Okay, like it's just Hank can keep playing his bullshit button. That doesn't change my opinion about why the Steelers get rid of young Justin Fields instead of washing up old mountain goat Aaron Rodgers. Like it doesn't make any sense to me. Like he played like the Seahawks team had their best corner and they still made him look like absolute poverty. So it's like just in my mind, like the Steelers are the same level as the Cowboys. They're both mid and they're both shit. But I'll let the Lions fans express how they feel because obviously their week one performance was absolutely pathetic. But then this week they looked like fucking the LSU offense of 2020 with Joe Burrow.
Yeah, I've got a sound effect for this as well because we just looked unstoppable today. The defense looked good. Terrion Arnold should have had his first ever interception until the refs gave him some garbage roughing the passer when we didn't even sack the quarterback. So, but I got this for the Lions week this week. Yep, that's about it because that
All
was
right, cancel his mic.
it was awesome. It was awesome to watch, and I guess I'll speak for John too because he's not in here at the moment. But it was great, especially the Bears and Ben Johnson coming in to Detroit. He could have gone to any other team that needed a coach. There were like nine. There were like nine teams that needed a coach last year. He decided to go to the Bears, who are also fighting to be the worst organization in the NFL. And we showed them today that they still are. They get a little too excited sometimes, and we had to just show them that they're still the Bears. So that's about all I got for that.
Yeah, I thought the Lions looked pretty good offensively. I mean, obviously, we knew their passing game was so good, but they finally let Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery just ground and pound and run right down the Bears' throat. Obviously, the Packers' front seven is a lot better than the Chicago Bears. I think we can all agree on that. But it was just Jared Goff being Jared Goff. Like he was more in like rhythm. He wasn't rushed, scrambling out of the pocket. When he scrambles out of the pocket, goddamn, he looks like one of the worst quarterbacks in the league. But when he's in the pocket and has got time, he looks like a top 5 quarterback. So he's literally the
Disrespect.
exact opposite. But obviously, Amon-Ra St. Brown had a monster game today. Jameson Williams had a monster game. But I'm just disappointed how they just have forgotten Sam Laporta. Had a great rookie season, and now they treated him like a fourth receiver. Like Isaac Tesla is getting more opportunities and more catches than Sam Laporta. So obviously, I think they should get him
He's
more
not.
involved. But that's just my take. John, what do you have to say?
He's definitely. I think Sam Laporta is playing his role. I think he's fine with doing that. I think that's what the Lions are, there to do. I think everyone's got a role, and Laporta's a tight end. He's gonna block. And I'm sure he likes to block. He's a tight end. If you don't like blocking, you don't like blocking. I mean, I definitely think we should give him the ball a little bit more, but at the same time, it's
Ever
just,
heard of Kyle Pitts?
yeah,
Hog shit.
nah, Kyle Pitts, bro, take him with a
Look at Brock
101 in
Bowers.
fantasy trust. Kyle Pitts, he's
I've
about to he's
ever
about to
heard of
go
Harold
off.
Fannin Jr. Go right
I
there.
think Sam Laporta is at the end of the day, he's more of a blocker than he is a, pass catching tight end. I think he's great at doing both, and I think we can feed him a little bit more. He's definitely not getting more than Isaac Tesla. Isaac Tesla has just been looking better, but
He has two.
I think
He has two balls thrown to him.
yeah. Yeah, so I mean, I don't know why Bruce is thinking that, Isaac Tesla's getting more love. He's just got better catches. I mean, realistically, those catches might not be made by Sam Laporta. No flame on him or hate on him, but it's just I mean, Isaac Tesla just made two one-handed grabs back-to-back weeks. So, I don't know, he'll get the ball. You just got to trust in that. I mean, he did have a good rookie season, but Jamo's there, Amon Ra's there, and this is a more like farther down the field passing offense most of the time. So he'll get his love.
The slate this week, unless for like a couple games, like weren't really impressive. I just want to hear like what was like the major like upset win you saw, or the team that looked most disappointing this week? I think for me, the biggest upset was the Colts. They knocked off the Broncos 29-28 on a 60-yard winning field goal. I don't know what it is, but Daniel Jones just looks a lot more comfortable in that Colts offense. And Jonathan Taylor, if he can get back to being the running back he was 2 years ago when they last made the playoffs, he's easily a top 5 running back in the league. Like if they just give him the workload that he's due, I think he's going to be very solid for them. But I think that's my most surprising team so far 2 weeks is the Colts. I did not expect them to be 0-2, but I surely did not expect them to be 2-0 with just beating the Broncos.
Yeah, I think that's
Um,
that's the game for me too so far. I mean, the Broncos are obviously a good team, and Daniel Jones, we've all seen what he did in New York, but maybe it just wasn't the right fit for him in New York because I mean he's come over to the Colts and he's looked pretty solid. So kind of excited about that because I got some Colts players on my fantasy team there on my bench right now, so hopefully they'll step up into the starting roles pretty soon. But yeah, that was definitely the biggest, I'd say, upset this weekend at least.
I would also have to agree, but I'm going to go back to last week, actually. Let's talk about the Bears because holy cow, how do you blow an 11-point lead in the fourth quarter against the Minnesota Vikings? Obviously, I'm very high on J.J. McCarthy, and I think the Vikings, come out and they show in that fourth quarter the team that they can be, and I hope we see that same team tonight, Sunday Night Football, against the Falcons. But I mean, the Bears were very hyped up upon. I mean, it's almost like every year they have this happen, but just, you expect more, I think, from Ben Johnson and in that offense, and only putting up 21 today against the Lions. You know, I think the Lions took that and smacked around Ben Johnson, which is great. Ben Johnson deserves it, in my opinion. But I mean, you can't. Yeah, the Bears are the Bears are the Bears, and they forever will be. That's just you can't blow that lead. I mean, you get a pick six to start the half pretty much in that game last week, and they just look like crap. But yeah, you guys are definitely right with that Colts pick. I mean, they look solid right now. Daniel Jones looks good, especially good, like Gavin said, for my fantasy players because Tyler Warren's coming into the lineup next week at this point.
So, yep, same here.
Yeah, that's good. That dude's pretty good. I don't really want to mention the same game as you guys, so I'll mention the quote unquote game of the week that just ended up here in the Eagles versus the Chiefs. Once again, even though it was in Arrowhead for some reason, the Eagles won again. And the tush push was very prevalent once again. Just bitched around the Chiefs once again. Mahomes trying to carry the team on his back was actually looking pretty mobile. Made some crazy magical plays, but it wasn't enough. Once again, it's just Eagles are just better, and hopefully, like most of you guys predicted, the Chiefs will take a step down. I'm not ready to put the Broncos ahead of them, but I think that the Chiefs are definitely on a decline.
Yeah, seeing the Chiefs start 0-2 is shocking. I wouldn't have guessed that. I would have guessed that they would have beat the Chargers last week, and then this week against the Eagles, kind of a toss-up. So the fact they're 0-2 is crazy. But back to what Will was saying, the fact that the Colts beat the Broncos is shocking because I obviously picked the Broncos to win that division that the Chiefs are in also. So that would have been a huge game for them to win to keep the prediction alive. But I mean, other than that, I didn't watch many games besides the Steelers game. So I've already said enough about that.
And I'd say that AFC West is it's a division to keep your eye on because I think that Jim Harbaugh and the Chargers could definitely be up there. I think, beating the Chiefs, and I think they have a solid squad over there too. It's not a bad squad, and I mean the Chargers are definitely in the mix now too. The Raiders are just, I don't know. I think that whole division might have a chance to win it if the Chiefs keep playing like they are right now, which is asking Patrick Mahomes to be Superman.
Raiders.
The Raiders, they're kind of
Hell
bad.
no.
Nope.
I said they have a chance. I did not say they were going to do
It's
it.
either Broncos or Chargers. Those are
Yeah,
those are
the
the
Raiders
Yeah,
top
don't
two.
have a
yeah,
chance. The other teams are too
Broncos and
good.
Chargers. I think Chargers are the best team to win that division.
yeah.
We'll actually go. We'll start our actual Week 3 predictions NFL. We'll start with the game that's going to be starting in about 25 minutes. Atlanta versus Minnesota, Sunday Night Football, rematch of the national championship of quarterbacks, J.J. McCarthy and Michael Penix. McCarthy got it the first time. Does he go 2-0? No. I'm going with the Atlanta Falcons coming in, getting a huge win over the Minnesota Vikings. Bijan Robinson's going to have a good game. I think this is a game Kyle Pitts is going to step up. He's going for a touchdown. Give me the Falcons coming into Minnesota and upsetting the Vikings.
I'd like to segue right off of that. That might be the worst fucking take of the night. Holy shit. We're just saying, you know what? JJ had a really good fourth quarter. They look like a complete team now, Minnesota. And we're just going to say, no, Atlanta's going to win. Hell to the motherfucking no. Vikings are coming out on top for sure. I think for my fantasy purposes, this is going to be tight end U game. Kyle Pitts and fucking TJ Hawkinson are going off, both scoring 20 points. Tight ends for the W tonight.
So I will be taking the Vikings, but I just want to mention this real quick. I don't know how in the hell the Cincinnati Bengals are 2-0 right now. I mean, that is just absolute hogwash. I don't really know how that's possible. Anyways, I'm going to give up on the Browns this season officially. I'd like to switch my fandom. Who would I like to switch to? I'm going to go to the Houston Texans. CJ Stroud. Stop holding up that Steelers jersey, Hayden. I'm not ever going to consider that. But yeah, the Jets as
Nobody
well.
wants to go 8-9, dude.
We're not going
Give me the
8-9.
Jets. They might.
It's those free rage bait for a Steelers fan.
I got the Vikings absolutely destroying the Falcons. I don't know what Will is talking about here, but he's on cloud 9. I mean, look at his face. Look at him right now. That's all you got to see. The Vikings
Clown
are
show over
destroying
there.
them by 15 at least.
Michigan Clays is crazy.
Yeah,
JJ is way
I
better
also
than
got the
Penix.
Vikings.
You want to talk about Monday Night Football?
Hold up. I also got the Vikings here. I got JJ McCarthy. We're just mimicking the national championship. Michael Penix has no chance. The Vikings defense is just better too. Yeah, that's about all I got. I think McCarthy brings another one home. Starts it off 2-0.
Who plays on Monday night again?
I believe it's Bucks and it's Bucks and Raiders. Or Chargers, Raiders, and Bucks and Texans.
Double header
Chargers
action.
win and give me the Bucks too.
I agree with that. Bucks, Chargers.
Tampa Bay. Baker Mayfield's just a better quarterback right now. Better weapons. They got the better team right now. But I would not be surprised if the Texans win this game, obviously. This is a toss-up. But that later game, yeah, I'm going with the L.A. Chargers. Jim Harbaugh, they're beating the Chargers by 20+. Give me L.A.
Yeah, I also got the same two winners. We saw CJ Stroud last year. I don't think he's any better, and the Raiders are just the Raiders, and will probably suck for the rest of eternity.
Yeah, I also have the same picks. I got the Chargers by a mile. That game starts at 10 o'clock too, so that'll be a nice little fun Vegas game. But yeah, Chargers mop the floor. We'll see Jim Harbaugh in the casinos after that game, gambling away all his winnings from that game. And Buccaneers are going to run away with that game. I think the Texans' defense is solid, and I think they're a solid squad. But I just think Baker and that offense, especially with the Mecca Egbuka in there too with Mike Evans, I think it's a different offense. They looked good last week, and I think they'll continue their stretch.
Yep, love that. Love that little shout out right there. Emeka Egbuka gonna lead the Bucks with Baker, and my hot take's gonna come true. They're gonna make it to the conference title. It's gonna happen.
I didn't say that.
Yeah,
I didn't know about all
I
that.
did though.
I got the Bucks winning. Yeah, Mike Evans. That's all I got to say. Here goes Gavin. Okay.
All right. We'll do two more, a couple more. On Sunday, Rams versus the Eagles. I think this is a good game. Last year, a rematch from last year's playoff. The Rams were in this game for majority of it. Stafford kind of choked at the end, but it's in Philly. Obviously what Philly's done, they beat Dallas, who's not as good as a team. They beat Kansas City. I don't think they're as good as a team as they were last year. I'm going with the Eagles just because it's at home. I think Philly's just a better team right now. I'm going with Philly at home.
Yeah, I also got Philly at home. If it wasn't at home, might be looking a little another direction, but yeah, I definitely think the Eagles will bring this one home. They're a very well-rounded team, and yeah, I think they'll have this one, but I think it'll be close.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Eagles as well. I think like Gavin said, if it was at the Rams, I think it's a little bit different way. But the Eagles look good tonight against the Chiefs. I mean, it is also the Chiefs that kind of they look a little iffy right now, but I think the Eagles will take this one. Honestly, I think they'll take it with a little bit of ease. I think the Rams' offense is going to be the biggest factor, though. I think if the Rams' offense can play good, they will definitely stay in the game longer than I anticipate they will. But no offense from the Rams, this will be a runaway game.
I disagree. It'll not be a runaway, first of all, and I got the Rams winning. Like I said before in one of the first episodes, I was 4-0 in picks last week, so I don't want to hear it. I got the Rams winning this game. I think Matt Stafford is better than Jalen Hurts. I think he shows that Sunday, and I'm going to pick the Rams by 3.
And on that note, give me the Eagles. Just too far of a trip for the Rams to make. I think that Matt Stafford's good, but he's kind of unk. So yeah, give me the Eagles. Still undefeated.
And then we'll go to two more. Last one for the Sunday slate. Pittsburgh traveling to New England to take on the Patriots. Obviously, New England has looked decently better than last year. I'm not going to lie. New England has the quarterback advantage. I think Drake May is better than Aaron Rodgers right now. Obviously, the Steelers defense has not looked impressive, giving up 31 to the Seahawks and now 30 and then 32 to the Jets. Aaron Rodgers got to play a lot better. Obviously, could he do it? Yes, but I'm just trusting my gut. I know it's probably the wrong pick, but I'm going with the New England Patriots coming in there at home with their defense. Mike Vrabel is going to absolutely make Aaron Rodgers' life a living hell. I'm going with the Patriots, and the Steelers will be under 500 for probably the rest of the year after this.
Yeah, I also got Drake May by 35. I don't see this retirement home stopping him at all, and I also just don't see Aaron Rodgers doing anything the rest of the season, per usual. So yeah, give me the Patriots.
For me, I think this one's tough. I really want to pick against the Steelers, and Drake May's been shown a lot of promise though. So the game being in New England, I think it makes it close, but I think Unc Rogers does a little too much. As much as I hate saying it, I think Unc Rogers has a drive, and it goes against that inexperienced Patriots team, and they get it done in a close one.
All right, obviously I'm taking the Steelers. I think Unc Rogers will play better than Drake May this next game, and the Patriots are still mid. Like they beat the Dolphins by 6. I know Gavin's gonna say you only beat the Jets by 2. Ugh. I don't care. Okay, we're both
Well, you
mid.
only beat the Jets by
Steelers
2. The
are a
Jets
better
are the
type
same
of
level as
mid,
the
so I'm
Patriots.
taking the Steelers. What?
The Jets are the same level as the Patriots.
Nah, the Patriots are even worse. I don't believe in them. They got Drake May. That's about it. Yep.
Oh my God, this is horrible.
What?
Yep. I'm taking the
Gavin, you want
Steelers.
to chime in on this? Because this man's just speaking out bullshit right now.
Can you please say that again?
Oh, I said, can you please speak on behalf of
No,
the Jets?
no. What did Hayden say again? I
Hayden,
didn't hear.
Hayden said the Jets are better than the Patriots.
That is that. No.
It's possible.
No.
John, who you got? Patriots or
Oh,
Steelers?
I just had some technical difficulties, but I'm going to take the Steelers. I got faith for some reason. I For some reason, I believe in the Mountain Goat speaker himself, Aaron Rodgers. Last time I did this, though, he did tear his Achilles, which was Week 1 with the Jets in his first ever start. So you never know. Maybe my belief in him will make it so my prediction last week actually comes true, and he tears that good old Achilles of his finally. But
PTSD. I don't know how many times I got to say it, but PTSD, baby.
But
We'll
I
find.
got the
Well,
Steelers in this one for sure. I think the Patriots are still a little bit too young, and I mean, they almost lost to the Dolphins too. So
this will be the final thing we discuss. The Monday night game next week. It's a big one. Detroit's making the road trip to Baltimore. Going to be a huge game. On this day 3 years ago, I would like to say Justin Tucker hit the longest field goal ever of 66 yards to beat the Lions on this exact same date. Gavin has PTSD from that for sure, looking at his reaction. But this is going to be a good game. Obviously, with the Lions bouncing back the way they did this week, it gives me a little more confidence in the Lions. The Ravens, even though they lost to the Bills, they should have won that game. They should be 2-0. Lamar Jackson, the last time they played the Lions, they steamrolled them. Like, it wasn't even close. Lamar just did everything he wanted to. But I don't know, man. I feel like this game's going to come down to the wire. And just for that, I'm going to go with the Detroit Lions. I think they're going to get it done on the road. They're going to go into Baltimore, beat the Ravens, and I think that's just going to propel their season. I got the Lions winning 24-21 over the Baltimore Ravens, and I think they shut down Derrick Henry. He does not have more than 60 rushing yards.
Yeah. Obviously, I got the Lions winning this, but I got us maybe losing like 2 to 3 more games this season, and this could definitely be one of them. Playing the Ravens in the past has been absolutely terrible, and we've not proved to be able to do anything to stop anything they do. Except for when I was there a few years ago, should have had it, and then Justin Tucker decided to kick the NFL record for longest field goal and broke my heart. And but yeah, I got the Lions. Hopefully we can shut down that run game, and I think we'll be able to take home the W.
I'm also a Lions fan, but before I get into my pick, just came across my screen as I'm watching the Sunday night preview. One person on the entire crew of Sunday Night Football picked the Falcons. So congratulations, bros. There's someone out there with you. Because my God, it's 9-1 on that crew. Um, but I also have the Lions. I think it's gonna be a really close game because we do always struggle with Baltimore. We either get blown out or we magically find a way to lose. I think though that this is a kind of bit of a redemption year, and we there's also a year where we kind of proved that last year wasn't just some fluke that we went 15-2, and we get it done on the road, and it's our first big road test. I mean, I guess Green Bay was, but I'd say this one at night is just an even bigger test, and I think this is the first of many nights where we got to play someone. So I think it'll be interesting, but I think we come out on top, and it'll be a very big dub and locker room boosting dub as well.
Yeah, for me, I don't necessarily like either of these two teams, but I'd like to say that Derrick Henry, after the Browns talked shit about him, I know the Browns got blown out, but he had like 16 yards. After saying he was easy to tackle, the Browns really held him in check. So if there's one thing I could take away from the Browns getting fucked, it's that. And I think he's really going to want a bounce back game this week. So for that reason, I think that he plays well, Lamar plays well, and Baltimore gets it done at home, and they beat the Lions.
I'm going to also pick Baltimore, and I feel like this is 50-50. So if they were at the Lions, I'm picking the Lions. But I think Baltimore, just having the home advantage, just going to pull it out slightly. I honestly, you could see the Ravens winning by a field goal like they've done in the past. It's going to be that close. So I think Derrick Henry, also like Will Rob said, has a bounce back game since he screwed me over in fantasy. 11 carries for 23 yards. I mean, that's terrible. So I'm going to take the Ravens in a very close one. Could go either way though.
Anybody else have anything to add before we go?
Yes, I do. I got one last quick thing. This podcast is called Sports Unleashed, correct?
That is correct, yes.
All right, so we're going to talk about a sport that is not college football or NFL football real quick. In the MLB, the Cleveland Guardians are fighting for the last wild card spot in the American League. And guess who they're about to play 6 times in the last
Put away
13
my
games?
fart button.
The Detroit Tigers. And guess what? They're going to sweep them both times and take the fucking division. Watch out,
Sweep
Detroit.
us
Watch
both
out,
times
Detroit.
is absolutely
The boys are
absurd.
hot.
Yeah,
The
holy
boys are
cow. We're
hot.
just we're just smoking pot anywhere these days, huh? Just in the house, on the street, in the
Yeah,
basement.
we're gonna
Like
be
we don't
smoking them
care
tigers.
anymore.
We're eating fucking tigers
Holy
for dinner,
cow.
bitch. We're eating
Yeah.
tiger for dinner.
Did you not see what we did to the
Watch
Yankees? Did you
baseball, but
not
I
just
can
see what
tell
we
you
did
the
to the
Tigers.
Yankees without Skubal pitching at all? Yeah,
Don't
it's
care.
hey. Oh, you're gonna care. We're gonna hang 13 on you one of these games. You're not sweeping,
Bye,
bro.
bro.
Your offense
All
just absolutely
right.
pissed down their legs against the Miami Marlins. What do you think's going to happen?
Dude. Yeah, not allowed
In
to
all
have an off
seriousness,
game.
though, if it isn't
Guys,
double sweeps, I think they're still gonna come back. They're gonna make the playoffs at least.
I can
Just
agree
wait.
with that. I think the way the Guardians are playing, they'll make a wild card spot, but I don't think they're going to win the division. I think the Tigers are going to take both series.
I honestly really hope you guys make the playoffs so then we can just beat your ass once we reach the
That shit's not
playoffs.
happening.
It's not happening. If we get you guys in
Yeah,
the
little
playoffs, you guys are
Tigers home field advantage. We'll appreciate that.
yeah, that shit dump you call
Bullshit.
Comerica Park, yeah. And nothing.
Yeah.
All right. Hayden, do you have anything to add before we go?
I don't watch baseball, but I can tell you the Tigers are better than the Guardians. That's all I got to say. If they were called the Indians, they might have a chance, but nope, they're the Guardians. So
All right. Well, that'll do it for this episode. We thank you for listening, and we'll see you for the next one.
See ya.
see ya.